What's happening, y'all? What's happening? What's happening? What's happening? We good? We good? Yep, we in there. We in there. Everything looks clear. Everything sounds clear. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's good? Let me go ahead and get this this going. It's not playing right now. Oh, it doesn't like me right now. It was just playing before the stream started. But what's good, man? We got Argo first. We got Captain second, Lyric third. What's happening, everybody? How's everybody doing over there? See why this isn't playing, maybe. It was just playing. Let me see. Maybe that's the problem. Try to refresh it, but we'll see. What's good, Shell? Appreciate you pulling up. Appreciate you, appreciate you, appreciate you. Yeah, they over there. They're right here in real life. I don't know. Yeah, because I was just right there asleep. Brody just passed by, and I think he went under the bed. What's happening, y'all, though, man? We got to talk some Commanders free agency. Was good. Rich was good, everybody, man. Of course, I just got the Commanders versus Cowboys game because that was the most impressive game. And it also has, like, because I mean, I want to play like the Eagles game because that was a really good game too. But like Taylor Heineke's a starting quarterback. And like I just feel like this game is a little bit more relevant because we see Percy Butler, we see Khaleke Hudson playing. Maybe even Chris Paul competes and earns that starting left guard spot. He's starting at left guard. So I like this game because it shows us a lot of the young people who's going to really get a chance to compete this upcoming offseason. And then, of course, most notably, our starting quarterback, Sam Howell. So I prefer to show this game, but let me know if y'all prefer to see like the Eagles game, all 22 while we're live streaming, things like that. I could put on the Texans game, because that was a fun game to watch as well. But I just always throw this game on by default because Sam Howell for the most part, but not even just Sam Howell only, was good. Rich, DeQuavius, Incabito was good. Steve was good. Coming with the good. Steve in Canada, that's what's up. That's what's up. Yo, what it do? What's good? Dylan, most reliable fan page. Appreciate that. Show Wiley film. See, that's the only problem. Like a couple of years ago, remember NFL Game Pass used to be able to let you like type in a person's name and it bring up all of their all 22. But now like you just got to go to the team. So now I do have that specific film somewhere though. Hold on. I had that somewhere. Don't worry about it. Hold on. Let me find that. Let me find that specifically. I know I do have that. Where's the down? I'm still not used. I don't use my PC for anything but recording or live streaming. So I still be lost trying to use this thing. Hold on. Is it you? Yeah, there you go. All right, I just got to put this on. No, I don't want to update. I just got to put this on repeat. So Andrew Wiley, the starting right tackle. All right, yeah, we can go ahead and throw some Andrew Wiley on. Appreciate the idea, Rich. Dejahan from Wisconsin was good. We got Brian from Florida. DMV in the house. LB was good. Juan Carlos was good. I know you love Georgia, but I don't know why you hate the Falcons so much. Nah, yeah, the Falcons are a passionate hate. Because when I came to Atlanta, I didn't already necessarily have a college team. Like, I would root for Georgetown and Maryland when it came to college basketball. But college football, I just didn't care enough, and Maryland wasn't good enough to matter. So when I got here, I immediately attached to Georgia. But the Falcons already had my Commanders that I was super passionate about. You couldn't tell me nothing about the Commanders when I moved to Atlanta. And then, living around a whole bunch of Falcons fans, you just grow to hate them because they're usually the people talking the most trash, even though they've never won a Super Bowl. What's good, sports? PSP, what's good? Yes, sir. Appreciate the donation. Check out Commanders Demand, where I discuss things about the Commanders. Love to have you on the podcast. Okay, man. Yeah, hit me up on Twitter, man. Yes, sir. Definitely hit me up on Twitter, and we could definitely put something together, man. I'll definitely pull up. Appreciate the donation. Even without the donation, I would have pulled up. But that's just like, oh, yeah, for sure. Bring It was good. Praying for a shocker at the owners meeting today. Hey, man, I am too. Tuned in from Richmond. Yes, sir. Virginia in the building. Like your show. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that, Charles. Florida in the building. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love Florida, man, because y'all give Georgia some of their best players, so I love it. I absolutely love it, man. What's good, Jay Willard? What's good? Go DS. Belton. Bo Hurley was good. South Carolina, you right up there, about a couple hours away from me. Richmond, Virginia, again, was good. Corey was good. CashApp, okay, my boy. Okay. Incabito with the CashApp. Wait a minute. Yes, sir, I got it. My boy Incabito with the CashApp. Appreciate that big time, man. Yes, sir. Peaches was good. DeQuavius. Oh, yeah, let me go ahead and pin that comment. Gotta pin that comment. 80 viewers, only 17 likes. We gotta step it up. You rock with Slick Rick? A lottie dotty. Wait, what? Where'd that come from? I mean, yeah, he cool. He just, he backed in. Was good. Alexander was good. And Jim was good. Jim was good from Vegas. I used to, I have a lot of second homes, but Vegas is definitely one of them because I used to be out there all the time as a kid. I even lived out there for a little while. So shouts out to Vegas, man. I do miss Vegas a little bit. I haven't been back since like adult, but I used to be there all the time as a kid. All the time. And that's how I used to be able to go to LA sometimes from Vegas, but I lived in Vegas. What's good, Red Wings? What's good, Graceland? Slick Rick memes are hilarious. Wait, I didn't even see any. I haven't been on the internet much. It's been football, anime, and life. I haven't even been like on Twitter like I usually am. Georgia stuff has kind of calmed down, so I haven't been really looking into them. It's been straight Commanders. Love my Georgia Bulldogs and everything, but when we start to get into the spring practices, like April come around, I'm gonna be heavy Georgia again. But right now, everything is Commanders because we got free agency, we got draft stuff. But as far as just being randomly on Twitter and Instagram, I haven't been on that much. I caught up on One Piece. Now I'm straight manga. I'm catching up. I'm about to be all the way to chapter, what are we at? 1070, something like that. I'm not playing about One Piece. Is it true you're going to be with Louis T this week? Yes, sir. Louis T is going to have me, Ed Oliver, and Rio on his channel, I believe Wednesday. I'm almost sure it's Wednesday. I see Wiley Pancake and an Eagle on repeat. Hey, man. You can never get too much of this. Shouts out to Rich for the idea for me to play this. Dan Snyder has to go sell the team already. We should get Darnell Washington or DB with the first round pick. I agree. I don't see why people think that Darnell Washington may even slip into the second round. I'd be willing to take him at 16 if you could trade back and get him better, but I just think he changes your offense. I think he completely, there's not another Darnell Washington in the NFL, and I feel like Eric Bieniemy with his creativity could do something with that. I don't think every team could get a Darnell Washington and he succeed. Say for example, we didn't have Eric Bieniemy, we still had Scott Turner as our offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be as passionate about getting Darnell Washington, but I think Eric Bieniemy is smart enough and creative enough to where you get a guy like that and you make him matter. No matter what he's deficient at, he has inconsistent hands. Of course, he can't separate, even though he's faster than a guy should be at that size, but he's literally a third tackle on the field. I think Eric Bieniemy will find a way to get a lot of greatness out of him. So, again, it's based on who we have in the coaching staff, why I really believe in Darnell Washington. Of course, as a Georgia Bulldogs fan, I see all of the potential in the world. I see how when he got hurt against Ohio State, our offense became almost anemic. I mean, I love Brock Bowers, but we don't run the offense through Brock Bowers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can receiving wise, but Darnell Washington, we run the ball his way. We pretend to run the ball his way. Everybody focus on that, and then somebody's wide open on the other side because Darnell Washington is such a monstrosity of a human type of thing. So I just think Eric Bieniemy will get his hands on Darnell Washington and turn him into a superstar. He may not be like a Pro Bowler, but he'll be one of those guys that just does so many great things for us that him hurt out for whatever reason, you'll notice it on the offense. And that's kind of how he is for Georgia. Brock Bowers is the star. He gets all the receiving credit. He gets all of the accolades. But Darnell Washington was the one doing all of the dirty work, like all of the little stuff that you don't really notice unless you watch the All 22. So I would love to bring him onto the team. And then, of course, if Christian Gonzalez or Devon Witherspoon, one of those guys make it to 16, I'm down for that as well. Where we at? Do you think we should take Will Anderson if he gets there at 16? Well, he never would, but yeah, I would. Because I mean, we do need to start planning on how we're gonna approach replacing Chase Young and or Montez Sweat, because somebody not getting paid. Would you prefer Broderick Jones or Leno at left tackle for us this year? Of course, Broderick Jones. I like Charles Leno. I'm a little bit higher on Charles Leno than most Commanders fans, but Broderick Jones, Paris Johnson, Darnell Wright, for sure. I love those guys' potential for sure. I'm really intrigued by Darnell Wright because at his best, he looks like the best tackler in the class. If you wanted to say the most consistent offensive lineman, Peter Skoronski easily, even though the only problem is his arms are kind of short, even though it hasn't necessarily mattered yet in college, I think he'll be better off at guard at the NFL level. If you want to say the highest ceiling, you can argue, Anton Morrison maybe, but then if your interpretation of ceiling is them playing their best against the best people, that's Darnell Wright easily. Darnell Wright was the best offensive lineman against Will Anderson, I could probably say, in Will Anderson's career of college football. Like, it's like he plays to his competition. When he plays against lesser edge rushers, he kind of plays down to him. But when it's time to step up and block the most unblockable guy, Darnell Wright is your guy. And so I'm really intrigued by Darnell Wright. He's starting to grow on me the more I watch him, especially looking back at when they played Alabama, man. I'm really excited about that. I would love to get Darnell Wright after 16. However would we do it? Like, if we got to trade back, whatever. Let me see. Alabama State University in the building. What's up? As long as you're not the University of Alabama, I'm cool with you. Alabama State, yes, sir. I hope y'all take all of Alabama's recruits, please. Love the channel. Appreciate that. Mr. Brandt. Yes, sir. Jay from Phoenix. Yes, sir. Phoenix in the building. Hey, go to the owners meeting real quick and tell them to go ahead and sell that team since you already in Phoenix for us, man. Seat Pleasant in the building. What's good, Roundaway Ray? Keep doing your thing. Good discussions. What's good, LA? Who is your preferred owner? I'm so neutral. I see benefits to all of them because, I think Jeff Bezos, if you want to talk about boom or bust prospect, he's obviously the boom or bust. Because, again, as a Commanders fan that's not from the DMV area, that doesn't live in the DMV area, I don't think y'all understand how hard it is to find merch outside of having to go online. And so, like, Jeff Bezos potentially turning us into the most annoying fan base, even worse than the Cowboys, because we'll literally be everywhere all the time, online, in store, brick and mortar, whatever it is, Commanders gear everywhere. I think that would just be so fun everywhere, globally. Everywhere you look, you go into Lids, you go into Marshalls, you go into Ross, you go into any store, it's going to be Commanders gear somewhere in there. And I definitely can't say that right now. It doesn't matter where I go. I'm going to see Steelers. I'm going to see Green Bay Packers. I'm going to see Cowboys. I may see some Bear stuff, may even see some Giant stuff. But Commanders gear is really rare to see in person in Atlanta, just in any random store. So I'm really excited about that. Plus, a lot of us want RFK to be brought back. Jeff Bezos is pretty much the only hope for that. But at the same time, Mitchell Rales and Josh Harris are both DMV guys, and I think they would do right by the organization no matter what. Even though Dan Snyder was one of the biggest Redskins fans doing it, and you saw how that turned out. So it just depends. I'm just happy about anybody getting it. I'm just happy to move on, period. But we'll see. I mean, I don't really have a strong preference either way. Either way, I'm happy. You say you think it's Thursday. Wait, what happened Thursday? How you enjoying the most recent One Piece arc? You talking about Wano or you talking about past that? But Wano, I love it. Love it. Valerie was good. If he told y'all Wednesday, then it's Wednesday. Okay, yeah. Oh, you're talking about I think it's Wednesday. I thought. I could be tripping, but I thought it was Wednesday. I could check my calendar though. Team trade down. Yeah, I think trading down makes the most sense unless like a Christian Gonzalez caliber player slides to you. Other than that, you can just go ahead and trade down. We got to sign at least one of the few linebackers left. Deion Jones, Quan Alexander, Miles Jack, Zach Cunningham. Yeah, I was sick when I saw the Bobby Wagner notification yesterday. I already knew we weren't going to get him. I already knew it was impossible, but I was still sick. My boy Mr. Bell in the building with the donation. Appreciate that. What's going on with Keely? He used to have clout. He's just inconsistent. He's drastically inconsistent. Drastically. Like, it's bad. First of all, appreciate the donation. It's terrible. I love him. Georgia Bulldog fan. Love him. Love everything he's done for us. But it's either a pick six or he's allowing a touchdown. There's really no in between. He's kind of like a Marcus Peters, but a little bit more athletic, but also way more raw. I mean, if you want to beat him underneath, you got it every time you want it. Yeah, anytime you want to beat Keely Ringo on a comeback route, it doesn't matter who it is. It could be, I always keep using this example, but bruh, I'm telling you, that Sanford State game with receivers I've never heard of and still don't remember even after watching that game a few times, he was getting beat by those guys like it was nothing. I mean, I don't even know what to say as far as that goes. I have no idea what to do with that information. It's just ridiculous. It's really bad. Okay, we getting callers in the building. Hold on. Let me pause. Where am I hearing this music from? Hearing music from somewhere. Is this somewhere on my computer? Hold on. Let me locate this music so we can so I can start this call-in show portion of this, because people are ready right now. Let me make sure it's not that. I'm hearing music from... Oh, I know what it might be. Wait, it's not that. Is it not that? I gotta find the source of this music, because I know this isn't that. Pause this. Oh, it is you. Somebody just put music to the Andrew Wiley tape. It's just a random neo-soul song on the Andrew Wiley tape where I got it from. Okay, now I located it. We're good. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody, but Timothy is called into the show, so let me go ahead and bring my boy Timothy on. Let me make sure I can hear everything. All right, we got Timothy. Let me go ahead and get you in and get the... Yeah, what's good? What's good, Timothy? How you feeling?
I'm doing all right. I got to be honest. I haven't followed all of our off-season moves that closely. I know we signed a couple of players. Like, I wanted Orlando Brown, but that didn't happen. And I wanted, what's his name, Lawan? Wanted him too, but that didn't happen. But, I mean, it seems like they're working on the offensive line. Like, you know, we getting Fedarian Masters back from injury should be. So Chase Young, you know, was on the mend towards the end of the season. So I'm just excited to see. Honestly, I'm waiting to see what we do in the draft, because I don't think that we necessarily, you know, did everything we needed to do in free agency. We did something, but, I mean, it's moving in the right direction for me. So I just want to see what we do. I'm excited to see, you know, I'm seeing all these clips you posting of like Sam Howell, like, or I've seen clips Sam Howell doing like all season workouts. So I'm excited because, you know, I know it was only a 1-game sample size, and then before that was just the preseason, but I think that, I mean, we've already seen between like our O-line from, what was it, 2021, like the season we had Ryan Fitzpatrick, he didn't finish the first game of the season, and we had to go with Taylor Heineke.
Half.
Like, he had some rough, he had some rough games, but like we've seen with like even like competent O-line, having a competent O-line, what someone can do, and that was just Taylor Heineke. Like the Buccaneers game, I still hold that up as like imagine if you took Sam Howell and put him behind that line. Like, we would have beat the Buccaneers by way more points than that. And I'm I'm most excited because I want to see like how good are our running backs. Like I understand B-Rob is like a monster. Like you got highlights of him carrying 4 or 5 dudes to get the first down, knocking people over to get into the end zone. And like Gibby, you know, I feel like, you know, B-Rob has a little more power behind it, but Gibby's a little shiftier. So I just want to see like what they can look like behind a good, competent O-line, to be honest. Like, because like you just see when you look at like NFL highlights, you look at like Pacheco for the Chiefs, or you look at like what's his name, Walker for the Seahawks, and you just see them take off, and it's a take off for like 50+ yards. I'm like, can we get that? Like, I love the 10, 12-yard plays, but like I would love some multiple double-digit yard plays, to be honest.
Yeah, chunk plays for sure.
And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I feel like if we truly address the O-line, like we get like a solid left tackle, like if we get what we need, I feel like Sam Howell is gonna be dicing people up. Cause like I was looking at the highlights from Week 18 game against the Cowboys the other day, and like even back then people would not know what they were talking about. Oh yeah, look at Washington winning against backups. I'm like, backups? I'm thinking, it's been months. I'm like, do y'all not know what was happening in that game? That the Cowboys were trying to win because they wanted the number 1 seed. They were waiting for the 49ers to lose. They wanted the Giants to win. Like, and then they had to win the game in the game against us, and they could get the first seed. I'm like, people, like what? I'm like,
they definitely had more starters than we did. They for sure had more starters than we did.
And we sat people on top of that. So I'm like, we sat people. We were playing their starters, and like he put up 26. And I'm like, yeah, he had a rookie moment when he threw that interception. I don't know what that was about.
Cam Sims. Yeah, triple covered Cam Sims.
Yeah, I don't know what that was about, but like I don't know, bro. I just feel like Howell has the intangibles. I feel like he has a good enough arm. Like you don't have to have Mahomes like to have success. I'm not saying that Sam Howell's not good, but it's not like there are players obviously that have like a stronger arm or have like more, I guess, athleticism than him. But I'm like, I feel like he is a solid quarterback. I feel like he could be in that. I feel like with the right piece around him, and you don't even have to have everything. You don't have to have Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. You don't have to have like a stable of just racehorses. Like he could be a top 10 quarterback with just a decent team around him. Doesn't even have to be elite. A decent team, because the NFC is just so weak. Like, yeah, teams are getting better. I'm getting a little irritated. I'm seeing some of these, all-season, like, ranking, and, like, I seen somebody put us at, like, what was it, like the bottom 5. I'm like, are you serious? The bottom 5? I'm like, are you serious? I'm like, and then I'm like, I understand the Panthers have the number 1 overall pick. But that doesn't mean they bought, like, what? Or the Saints. I'm like, I ain't trashing Derek Carr, but it's Derek Carr. Like, come on, man. Like, all they got was Derek Carr. Like, I don't think that's enough for Saints to suddenly, like, they're about to be a threat. Like, I mean, that division is terrible. But, I mean, I don't know. Honestly, I'm be honest, if I had to pick a sleeper in the NFC South, I think it's going to be the Buccaneers randomly. So I think Baker Mayfield might have a resurgence. I don't know. This is his 4th team, but he might have a resurgence. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure I'm over the time. But I just want to see who we draft. Like, obviously, I'm waiting for the team to get told. And, like, I think it was it might have been Jarris or it might have been somebody else's video talking about the new owner might change the name. I'm like, please don't play with my hopes, bruh. Because I had my hopes dashed when it wasn't Red Wolves the first time. I'm like, if you're trying to change the name, bruh, you know what you need to change it to. Come on, bruh. The fans need to just bombard whoever it is. As soon as the team gets sold, everybody just go to their Twitter page, whatever they got, social media, just Red Wolves straight down their timeline, and so they don't see nothing but Red Wolves. I'm like, because you know Dan Snyder wasn't doing it because he's cheap. Because I think the Timberwolves own like the trademark for everything Wolves, and that's why it wasn't Red Wolves. And they would have to, I think, like pay like the owner of the the Timberwolves to like have the name Red Bulls. I think that's why it fell through. At least that's what I remember. I'm like, even if that's the case, pay them. Pay them. Pay them the money. I don't care. Pay them. Bruh. But yeah, that's it. I'm just trying to see who we draft. Obviously, I want Dan Shannon to be gone already. Like, we need, like, just, bruh, if it's just seeing that bottom 5 was just heartbreak. I'm like, what are you talking? I'm like, we weren't even a bottom 5 team this last year. What are you talking about? Yeah. Like, we are for sure a top 20 team. That I'm lowballing. I would say, if I had to give us I'd say we're like 17 right now. Like, we have stuff to work on. I'd say 17, but top 20 at least.
Yeah, I at the very least top 20. I agree. Yeah, for sure. I think it's playoffs or bust, honestly.
Hold you up, Rico. I'm gonna let you get to other calls.
Appreciate that, Timothy. Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you calling in. You too, man.
All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I think the NFC South, I think overall is going to be trash, but I think it's going to be really fun to watch with all of the Derek Carr to the Saints, Baker Mayfield to the Buccaneers. As long as the Falcons don't succeed, I'm happy. Let me go ahead and bring on the next caller. We have a 321 number. Who's this?
It's Brian.
All right, bet. Let me tap you in. Let me sign you in. Got you saved. What's good, Brian?
Hey, buddy. Love your show, man. I listen to you all the time. I live in Florida, so it's hard to get Washington Commander news out here, and I get all my stuff from you. So I just appreciate your show, man.
Thank you.
Just wanted to. I hate this narrative people are trying to put out there that Washington should be taking Lamar Jackson, and I've seen where they put Sam Howell down a lot just to try to build up that we should be taking Lamar.
Yeah, they do play.
But they don't look into they don't take in consideration the damage it would, like we would have to destroy our roster just to pay him. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
And give Sam Howell. I'm a huge Tar Heel fan, so I followed Sam Howell in college. I think he's gonna be great for the Commanders.
Bet. Yeah, man. I agree. I think that a lot of people. I love Lamar Jackson, but a lot of people are like unnecessarily downplaying Sam Howell and acting like he's trash. I understand if your point is we don't know, but a lot of people are making it seem like Sam Howell is guaranteed trash when they try to hype up Lamar Jackson, and that does frighten me a little bit.
Yeah, and the one thing I like the way the Commanders did with Sam Howell, just like they did with Patrick Mahomes, is he sat behind
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith, yeah, he sat behind Alex Smith for a year, and then he balled the next. I see the same from Sam. He sat behind Carson Wentz, who not a great quarterback now, but could teach him how to be a professional.
Exactly.
And those kind of things. Which I think Jacoby Brissett is amazing for that for Sam Howell, and I expect a good year from him.
Yeah, and to even get more specific, now that you bring it to my attention, I didn't think about this until you just said it, but they both of them also sat like almost the entire rookie season and then played the last game. Well, the Chiefs, they let Pat Mahomes play because they already made the playoffs. With us, they went ahead and let Sam Howell play because we already were out of the playoffs, but still, they sat the entire season, but the very last game of the season, they let them get their start, and then put some film out there for them to analyze throughout the entire offseason, build an offense around them, and yeah, and the rest is history, and they both have the same offensive coordinator.
I appreciate you taking my call, dude. Great show. I don't want to hold you up, but I appreciate you taking my call, bro.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you, Brian. Appreciate the points, man. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my boy Brian. Then we have a 608 number. Who's this?
This is Dejan Bell from Wisconsin,
All right, bet. Got you saved in. All right, bet. What's good, man?
What's good? First, I appreciate your show as well. Being from Wisconsin, the capital of Wisconsin, Madison to be exact. I'm a big Redskins fan, Commander fan. How you
Appreciate
do it,
that.
man. How you do it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just want to say, I became a fan. I was just share a quick story. I became a fan one day. I'm in Wisconsin, so all I knew was the Lions, the Bears, and Packers. So one day I'm on Madden, and I'm like, all right, I see a team I've never seen, and they just was the first team I pressed A on. And I get to play Madden, and I'm like, damn, Clinton Porter's a beast, huh? Taylor's a beast. So from that day, I just always stay with the Redskins, bro. I was just like, man, but just to get into like what we got going on right now, I think everybody's kind of doing, overreacting about the whole linebacker situation. Like with the coaches that we have, I think, Ron and Del Rio showed some trust that they, kind of know what they're doing with linebacker. Obviously, Gaiman Davis was like a project, but he's coming along. Obviously losing Cole Holcomb hurt because he's like a locker room guy, but I feel like we can just, trust them on that whole linebacker thing. Obviously, David Mayo is, completely trash, but I think they kind of got a grip on, what they want specifically from their linebacker, So I think everybody needs to pump their brakes on that and just let them, do that process pretty good,
Yeah.
So I had asked you, so what do you think about? Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, to add to that, also they just it seems like they focus on making sure our defensive line is the best in football. The DBs are only getting better, and I wouldn't be surprised if we go corner in the first round, especially like a Christian Gonzalez. And they just figure, hey, we had a top 5 defense last year with David Mayo getting extensive snaps and even John Boston coming in, and then Cole Holcomb was hurt. So they just figure it can't be worse than that. So they just figure they can have another top 5 defense. And if anything, Cody Barton is better than David Mayo, I guess is how they see it. And you can work around it. And we're probably going to go linebacker 3rd round at the latest or something like that.
Oh, for sure. And yeah, if we beat like some quality teams, during that run without Cole Holcomb. So it's like,
exactly.
Obviously, it's always room to upgrade. But I just feel like, with the D-line that we do have and, like, the Bama wall that we keep intact. And obviously, I still believe in Chase Young. I'm not the one who thinks he's a bust. Like, hell, I actually bought, like, a Redskin Chase Young jersey. I was, like, surprised I even got it, like, when he got drafted. And I was just in D.C., and I got it signed, like, this, at the free practice event that they had. So I was
yeah.
I'm all Chase Young, bro. I'm like, shit, I was the last one that he signed. I was hanging over the little stairs. I was like, Chase Young, sign this, boy. It got Redskin on it. Well, my mama dropped it down to him, and he signed it. So, I just got love for the team so much. But that's what actually to real quickly. Like, what do you think of like the tight end, room? Like, are you like going to put all your eggs in one basket with Logan Thomas, or do you want to move on from that?
I mean, cutting Logan Thomas would save us some money, but I think they're ultimately going to stick with them. For me, I love this. I always say I love the ceiling of this tight end room right now. Like, I love the potential. I love Armani Rogers. He's my favorite person in the tight end room. I think Eric Bieniemy can get a lot out of him, but we haven't necessarily seen it enough yet to truly believe in it. So I don't trust the tight end room, but I love the potential of it. I think Cole Turner, if we can get him right, he can be a true red zone target, and we saw him killing in training camp. I feel like we just need to tap into that. Curtis Hodges was really fun. He was starting to learn how to block better. He's 6'8", so of course he's a receiving target. He just got hurt, and then we basically used it as an excuse to kind of store him away on IR so nobody else could take him from us. And then Logan Thomas, we'll see. I'm hearing things that, like, on one end, it looked like, of course, yeah, he's not the same guy that he was in 2021, but at the same time, a lot of people are saying that the injury that he sustained usually takes almost 2 years to fully recover from, and some people are saying that it kind of looked like he was starting to look more like 2021 towards the end of the season, and maybe we'll get more 2021 next year than 2022 version of Logan Thomas. We'll see, but I want to take Darnell Washington in the draft if we can. I'm go ahead, give me my guy.
I was like, well, yeah, seeing him, bro, I was like, man, that dude, he was just like LeBron James is going to go block somebody, like, on the real. His ass cold as hell.
Literally.
But no, I ain't gonna hold you up. I know my time to run it out, but I just want to say, I'm a big, Redskin Commander fan. I love everything that all y'all do. You, Rio, Louis T, of course, Juan Gotti, everybody, what I'm saying? Everybody who hold it down for us, and a guy like me in Wisconsin. So thanks for putting me on your platform, and I believe in Sam Howell, unless, either we get Devon Witherspoon or Christian Gonzalez and trade back, because I feel like Jordan Porter going to be another William Jackson. So.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Hey, yeah, anything better than that, man. Yeah. Man, great call, man. I appreciate that big time, man, for sure.
Yeah, for real. Redskins, man. Redskins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Brought some energy, brought some good points, all of that, man. And I love the origin story, too. That's super random. I mean, I was already going to be a Commanders fan no matter what, because, I mean, I was born in Maryland. My mom and them are all huge Redskins fans, gear and everything. That's why I had the fat heads. All of that is them. That was when I was younger. I had my whole room Redskins. Even my little Xbox original controller, PS2 controllers were like Redskins. My mom did all of that, so it was gonna be that way regardless. But I remember back when 2K used to still make NFL games. It was NFL 2K something, and Steven Davis was going crazy. I was like, oh yeah, confirmed, staying with the Redskins. Like, this is my team, burgundy and gold, all of that. So man, appreciate that, Dejan. My boy Fresh Montana with the donation earlier, man. Salute, man. Appreciate that. Salute back to you big time, man. Thank y'all. And again, make sure y'all like up the stream if you haven't already. And let me go ahead and bring my boy Fresh Montana onto the show. How you doing over there, man?
Hey, what's up, bro? Hey, yeah, salute to you, man. I appreciate what you're doing, bro. And
appreciate that.
Salute to all the callers that came before me too, because I kind of agree with most of them, actually with all of them. Yo, I remember I was thinking at the draft, I was like, yo, I want either Sam Howell or Malik Willis. I kept telling my girl this, man. I kept telling her, like, yo, those are two quarterbacks. I didn't want nobody else. I didn't want no Deshaun Watson, none of that shit. Excuse my language, bro.
You good.
Bro, I'm telling you, Sam Howell, listen, Sam Howell, I've never been big on no player before, bro. I watched every game he played. Yo, Sam Howell is the truth, man. I'm telling you, he is the truth. I got so many different comps for him. You feel me?
Okay.
You hear me?
Yeah, I'm
like
I'm listening.
My first comp is Russell Wilson / Drew Brees. The best attributes from Russell Wilson, the deep ball and the mobility, when he was younger.
Okay.
And from Drew Brees, his accuracy. You know what I'm saying? He's both of them in one. You feel what I'm saying? Both of them in one. And if you don't want to say both of them in one, he's a smarter Tony Romo. Tell me.
I like that one. That one's new. That's a new one. I like that one. I like that one.
I mean? Look at Tony Romo and look at Sam. I'm telling you, bro. Like, this man, if people say, oh, he was a 5th round pick, I don't care about none of that. Like, all these Andersons don't know everything. You feel me? They're not the smartest people in the world. You feel what I'm saying? Like, I'm telling you, bro. Like, listen, mark this stream there. I'm telling you, Sam Howell gonna be the truth, bro. He's gonna be the truth. And these, like, all, like, the far I heard everybody talking about the tight end room. For real, bro, they can get rid of Logan, bro. Like, I like Logan 'cause I'm from D.C. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Southeast D.C. I grew up in Richmond, Virginia. So I'm a fan because he went to Virginia Tech and all that. But he can go, bro. Like, even 2021, he was all right. He was all right because we didn't have nothing. You feel what I'm saying? That's why he was all right, because we didn't have nothing, bro. Like, if they do draft a tight end, I like the dude from Georgia. What's his name? Darnell Washington?
Yes, sir.
What's the dude that they try to say is like a baby Gronkowski? The dude that's like a baby Gronkowski. That's what, because he can block and catch. Like, one of them. If they don't get neither one of them, I'm still cool. Because I'm high on Amani Rodgers. I'm high on Cole Turner. Shit, I still like the Bates because he can block and catch even though he's slow.
Yeah.
And I'm high on the one they had on the practice squad. Like 6'8".
Curtis Hodges, yep,
Yeah,
6'8".
Yeah. All you gotta do is just put it in the end zone. Who's gonna stop him from catching the ball, bro?
Exactly. You throw it up there.
Who's jumping that high? Yeah, who's gonna jump that high to knock the ball away? You feel what I'm saying, like, bro? So I'm cool with it. I'm cool with our tight ends. Like, if they don't draft nobody, I'm high on our tight ends. I think Turner dude was just. I think he was over his head with our team. Like, I'm not saying he was trash, but I'm glad they got rid of him. I don't think he knew how to use our players. You know what I'm saying?
Especially Gibson and Samuel.
Which I'm mad.
Yeah.
Come on now. Come on, bro. Speaking of Gibson, I think this is gonna be a takeoff year for him. You talking about Ivan Kamara and fucking what's the white dude from Christian McCaffrey?
Christian McCaffrey, yeah.
Watch out for Gibson, Slim. I'm trying to. This young gonna be so crazy. Like, I'm such a believer in EB because I don't think all of that was Andy Reid. All of that wasn't Andy Reid. Like, people can say what they want to say. Yeah, he's an offensive genius. True. But all that stuff they've been doing for the past 5 years, come on, man. Stop it. Like, they need to just cut it out. And also, I think we dropped the ball on the linebacker situation. Like, I don't want to get mad at Ron because, you know, they always do frugal moves. And most of the time they work out. I ain't even gonna lie. Most of the time when they do that frugal stuff, they work out. But I think they dropped the ball this year, bro. It was too many good linebackers. Too many, David. How you like David Long? Come on, man. You could have got him for the low. Then I just seen the news earlier. Bobby Wagner. Everybody's saying, oh, nah, Bobby Wagner, he's going to go to a contender. He's going to go. You telling me the Seahawks is a contender for $7 million? Get out of my face. Come on now. We couldn't get that man $7 to $8 million. You telling me the Seahawks is better than us? Is that what you telling me? You telling me the Seahawks is better than the Redskins? Cut it out, bro. Like, cut it. They just need to stop it. Like, I don't understand why year after year they drop the ball on linebackers. Like, yeah, I wanted Cole Holcomb back, but if we could have upgraded from Cole Holcomb, upgrade. I don't think this dude, Bobby, whoever we just got from Seattle,
Cody Barton.
I'm not sure if he's an upgrade or not. Yeah, but hopefully he is, but I ain't going to hold up too much time. Thank you for taking my call, bro, and salute to you. I appreciate everything you be doing, man.
Appreciate that. My boy Fresh Montana, man. Definitely call back next week if you can. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate that. Oh, wait. Before I promise that, because I'm used to always saying that, and I mean it, but when is... Wait a minute. Is next Sunday? Hold on. I'm going to bring that. Let me go ahead and bring in the next call. I got to check to see if next Sunday is possible. I don't think... Oh, yeah, it isn't. It isn't. I just thought about that. I will not be able to... So the Sunday after that, everybody. 2 Sundays from now. Just thought about it. Let me go ahead and bring on the next caller. What's good, Washington Command Center? Make sure I subscribe to my boy. Shouts out to everybody that pulled up to the stream. Definitely leave a like if you haven't yet. Let me bring my boy Rudy in. What's good, Rudy? Rudy, you there?
Yeah, what's up, dude? How you be, man?
What's happening, man? What's good?
Man, shit, I ain't making no noise. And since we talking about origin stories, okay, this how I became a Skins fan. It was like 81. I had a little black and white, and I'm 50. I had a little black and white TV, and they was and the Redskins was playing the Cardinals. So they was beating the shit out the Cardinals. Can I curse?
You good.
So it was one particular time they had scored a touchdown, and everybody had did that high five where everybody jump up and get that high five. Man, I was in love ever since.
Oh, with Doc Walker and them, the posse.
Oh yeah, baby. Hey, yeah, the posse, the Smurfs. Hey, they had it all. You hear me? So but with that being said, though, man. The guy Ridgeway, is that his name? The
John Ridgeway.
The D lineman.
Yeah.
John Ridgeway. Watch out for him, man. He did such a good job, man, when Jonathan Allen came out, man. So as far as that D line, I think we showed up on that. But I don't know about Sam Howell, and I'm not just because I really don't know about him. I just go by like we seen one game, so the jury is out on him with me. But I am so glad that they got rid of the offensive coordinator and we got EB, man, so maybe he can scheme up. Because really, I think we always have the talent. It was just the schemes that was messing us around as far as scheming around. Or was it the schemes, or do you think Heineke just couldn't do the job? I'm going to ask your opinion on it.
If I had to say the top 3 reasons why we didn't make the playoffs last year, I would say it's quarterback for sure. I feel like a lot of people like Heineke more than we should. I mean, I'm from Atlanta, and I want him to be the greatest quarterback ever, but he wasn't that. And then the offensive line.
And people acting like this dude. I ain't mean to cut you off.
No, you good.
But, man, people acting like this dude. Man, I'm like, he didn't do shit. He didn't do shit but constantly make us mad over here, man.
Yeah, go ahead, Reed. Yeah, man, I appreciate what he did for us overall. Especially, he beat the Falcons twice. He's forever in my book for that alone. But yeah, I feel like a lot of people put him on too high of a pedestal. Like we just lost like one of the Redskins' greatest just now in this offseason. Offensive line was really bad too. I mean, we could see that with Carson Wentz. I mean, granted, some of those sacks were his fault, but I mean, to get sacked 9 times. The offensive line got to be at least a lot of that. So it was just a struggle. Shouts out to Taylor Heineke for dipping and dodging behind that O-line and making them look a little less bad than when Carson Wentz was behind there. But still, O-line, Taylor Heineke, and then, of course, scheme, coaching, period. Like Scott Turner on offense, Ron Rivera time management. Really, Jack DeReal was the only one doing his job fully, to be completely honest. Yeah. So, those would be my top 3: offensive line, coaching, and quarterback for sure.
Well, so hopefully that we got all that together this offseason. But who you looking for in the draft?
It's a lot of guys. Christian Gonzalez, I would love him at 16. I think I have a strong feeling we're probably gonna end up trading back, and then at that point, I would love to get like Darnell Wright at tackle, my boy Darnell Washington at tight end. Those would be two of my top players. I would be really excited to get either one of them. But yeah, I think it makes them. I think we've made all these offensive line moves to where we don't have to panic and reach on an offensive lineman. I think we're definitely focusing in on going corner. Then we're going corner first, and then, or if we trade back, going offensive lineman in the first, and then getting offensive line maybe in the second. Because if Darnell Wright makes it to our second round pick, that's a steal of the draft, in my opinion. I love Darnell Wright.
What about that center, Chase Roulier? What you think about that?
When healthy, good, but can he play more than half a season? So this is last year. This is for sure his last year. I want to go ahead and restructure his contract, because there's no reason we should be paying him as much money as we have when he's barely played. But yeah, this is last year. We definitely need to draft a potential backup. Maybe we signed Nick Gates to do that, and we brought back Tyler Larson. Right. So they have like some break glass in case of emergency situations going on. But this is last year for sure.
Good. Well, we do need at least three. To me, we need three centers on the line. You know what I'm saying? Or three people that's capable of playing center on the offensive line, because they killed us last year, boy. That was trash.
Nick Martin, even Wes Schweitz, I love him, but he wasn't looking good.
Not at all. All right, then, Rick, man, I see my time up, man. Take it easy, bro. All
right, man, my boy Rudy, man, appreciate that.
All right, no doubt. All right.
All right, yes, sir. Yes, sir, yes, sir. We got my boy Merle up next. How you doing over there, Merle?
What's up, Rico?
What's happening?
Not much, man. Hey, while everybody give a little history lesson, let me give a little brief one. The reason why FedEx feels where it is now is because the people didn't want Jackson to redo RFK. They didn't want to help sub taxes to do that. That's why we got FedEx here. So we can blame Dan Snyder for all that if he wants to, the way it is, because he does own it. But the reason we even got FedEx here, because the taxpayers didn't want to redo RFK. So the fault was their fault too. Let's be clear on that. Now, as far as the draft is concerned, I think they're going to trade back if Christian Gonzalez and Joey Porter is off the board. I don't really see them staying at 16. We really don't need. I think they're going to trade back, and I think they're probably going to draft. If you notice this front office, they like drafting projects. They don't like to draft finished projects. So they'll probably try to go after somebody like a Darnell Wright. My thinking is they might even go after a tight end the first time, somebody like Kincaid from Utah. They don't fit that Eric Bieniemy off his belly than Darnell Washington. Even though I would prefer Darnell Washington.
Me too.
He might not fit the system that Bieniemy is going to run. Because the current tight end room, they can say they love it, but no, I really no. They don't block well. None of them do, other than Bezos. In order to play this system, if you watch what they did with Mahomes when he was like a rookie in his first season starting, they ran a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets and he ran the ball a lot. And that's what I think the enemy is going to do with Sam Howell to protect him. They're going to run a lot of 2 and 3 tight end sets and run the ball a lot to protect him. He's still going to throw the ball down deep, but it's not as much as they do now with Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
you gotta remember
logically.
He's going to be learning a new offense.
Yeah, it does. It does suck. Sam Howell has to learn his third offense in 3 years. That's the only downside to getting Eric Bieniemy.
Now, I know everybody has to gripe about the linebacker position, but really, I don't think many teams value the linebacker position much anymore, just like as they used to. I mean, just look at the Eagles. They got rid of that whole linebacker core base. Them going free agents and just replaced them. You look at Buffalo, they got rid of, they let Edmonds go. So I don't think a lot of teams value the linebacker position as much as they used to. I see a lot of teams correct the safeties that were played in college They turn them into linebackers because you speed to play at that position now more than physicality. For the life of me, I don't know why, and Rico, you touched on yourself in one of your reports, why they haven't converted Shaka Tony into a linebacker yet.
Bruh.
Size and do it. And I don't understand it. Same thing with Troy Apke. They keep bringing him back on these 1-year deals.
Troy Apke.
we know he's not a safety. Yeah, he's great on punt coverage, but you know he's not a safety. With all that speed with 4-3, I'm surprised they haven't tried him at linebacker. You don't have to worry about his coverage, but he could be as close to the line and help stop the run or whatever, because he can't tackle. So I don't understand that, even though this coaching staff always preaches position threat. I also don't understand what they're doing with Case Rudy. From what I'm hearing, he might be retiring if he's not recovering well from the injury he sustained last year. So I don't know what they're going to do as a center position. Tyler Wall Street can't be it. They're going to have to draft a center coming in this draft, which I think their draft is going to be more offensive than defensive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because from what I've heard from Case Rudy, he's not recovering well at all from his injury. I think he retired, to be honest. They need to restructure contracts because right now they don't even have enough money to pay the draft picks when they continue the draft.
Oh yeah,
So
I think we need like 7. I think we only got like 3.
I don't even know why they're messing around with that. I think this ownership group is going to take a little longer than what people thought. But I thought it would be over by this weekend. It seems like other bidders are starting to come in. I really don't want that guy from Canada to buy the team because I feel like he's going to move the team. That's why I don't want Jeff Bezos to buy the team because I really feel like he's going to want to move the team too. So they just don't want to deal with the politics of the DMV. If they buy the team, they're going to want that team where RFK is, which is logically smart. It's the perfect spot to put it. But then, you got to deal with that city council and the mayor there, and they just don't want to help out. They don't want to do anything to put the team back in the city for some reason. I don't understand. I really don't understand.
It might be an anti-Snyder thing.
Well, I mean, if it's a new owner, Snyder won't have anything to do with it.
Yeah,
so
true.
I really don't. They didn't even want to do that with Jackson Pitt, and he was an excellent owner.
Yeah.
So it's not like this is a Snyder thing. They've been doing this since Jackson Pitt. That's why he got mad and built FedEx Field around down Maryland. That's just how they always been.
Yeah.
So Rico, that's all I got for you this week.
All right,
I'll
man.
talk to you in 2 weeks.
All right, yes, sir. Appreciate that, Merle. Appreciate you calling in.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me bring on. We got a 202 number up next. Who's this?
Hey, what's up, man? This is Kelvin. Rico, how you feel?
What's good? What's happening with you? Let me go ahead and save you in now. All right, what's happening?
Ain't too much, man. Cooling out here on this beautiful day. I'm in Washington, D.C. I was born and raised here, born in D.C. General Hospital. That's how I became a Commanders fan. Now I'm Commanders fan, because, proximity. But, hey, I'm excited. I think it's a super exciting time to be a Commanders fan. A lot of money about to come in. It's going to be, new advertisement. I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people who are cup half full, and I'm super optimistic that the new owner, when they come in, they're going to shoot their shot at Lamar Jackson or some kind of franchise QB because we need it. That's a guaranteed Super Bowl to me. But man, I feel good. Not diving into the details about the move that was done because I do believe Ron in cohorts with the other coaches is doing some great moves, addressing some stuff. So when they do go into the draft, they can pick who truly is best, whether it be a corner, whether I don't know about tight end, even though it's a big good tight end group, but like maybe maybe another linebacker, but like high level point of view, man, we look real good. What's some of the good things Mr. Rico Street Scores, that you think that Commanders got going on that's gonna make us look good this year as far as making playoffs and beyond? Like, what's some of the good things that you like so far?
I think the thing that I like the most so far that we've done is that even though we haven't signed a lot of high caliber players, we made sure we signed guys at every position that we potentially had a need for. So now we're looking to upgrade at certain positions. Like, we want a better tackle, we want a better linebacker, we want a better corner and things like that. But it's not like we're entering the draft and we need to reach on one of these guys to where we're taking a mid guy because we have this glaring weakness at a certain position. Rather, we're going into the draft going straight best player available. It doesn't matter who it is. We're going to get the best player that's there when it's our time to pick. And ultimately, long term, if you go best player available all of the time, you're going to have the best team rather than just drafting a whole bunch of average guys at the particular need that you have at that moment. So I'm really excited about that. I mean, I want to upgrade left tackle. I would love to do that. I would love to upgrade linebacker, and I would definitely love to upgrade corner. We'll see which one we draft, but especially first round wise, but at least we don't have to reach on anything. We're just going to go in and take whoever's the best there.
1,000%, 1,000%. Whether it be the reasoning for it, whether it be LeBron, Ron is actually, on a hot seat, or he, developed this plan over 3-4 years to come at this position. Whatever the reason, I'm happy we're in this predicament where we can just take the best person forward. And the last thing I'm gonna speak on is the fact that the excitement from new ownership. Man, like, I think that's going to turn the fan base around, which is going to inject some more money. I think it's almost a done deal behind the scenes that RFK is going to be the new spot. They're going to tear the old joint down, build like a state-of-the-art $1 billion new joint, and like it's going to be a whole new season. Like, I'm super optimistic, and I feel confident that's going to happen, man. Like, we got to get you up here for one of them games after they build a new stadium. That's how I feel, for real.
Oh, yeah, I got to. For sure.
But no, that's it, man. I appreciate your time.
All right, man. Appreciate that, Kelvin, man. Great call, man. Appreciate it.
You too. Have a good one.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me bring my boy Command Center on, a.k.a. Astonishing. How you doing over there?
Hey, Rico. How you doing today?
What's good? What's good?
So I gotta push back a little bit about the draft and the whole best player available thing.
Mm-hmm.
Analytically, it's always better to trade back. You get more picks, you get more chances at the lottery, and I think that's what we're doing. I think, just like last year, I think Ron's gonna this draft so deep at the stuff we need. He's just gonna try to get all the value he can. Try to get back that second round pick he didn't have coming into the coaching job.
Oh yeah,
and
that's funny.
Yeah, I think we're gonna look to trade back. I think there's a bunch of teams that, depending on who slides to us, that could want to come up, and
especially to take a tackle.
Well, what's great for us is, like, everybody, even you, everybody's all in on this first round cornerback thing. But Ron Rivera, in all of his years as a coach, has never drafted a first round corner. And he has always gotten, great performance from his secondary. He's got Josh Normans, he's got Bradbury's, Deontay Jackson's. Like, he's always been able to, get it done in the secondary because, his scheme protects everything. And I just cannot, for the life of me, see him, like, changing his whole philosophy of doing this in, like, the deepest corner class I've ever seen. Like, if we got the trade back that we got last year, where we got an extra, what was it, a third and a fourth or something?
Yeah.
We could come out of this draft, instead of just getting, Witherspoon, who's like my favorite player in the draft, but I still don't think it would be smart to get him. Like, if we got the trade back, instead of getting him, we could end up with Julius Brents, Darius
they love
Rush.
Julius Brents too. They've met with him several times too. They really like him.
Yeah, Julius Brents is awesome. So, and his just the traits are crazy too. So we could get him late in the second, come back in the third, and get Darius Rush, who's an athletic freak, from South Carolina. And then in like the fourth or fifth, we could get Corey Trice from Purdue. All of them are like 6'3", and faster than Ben St. Juice, all good zone cornerbacks. Like, we could come out of the draft with that just for giving up on one guy.
Yeah.
And still put ourselves, like, there's so much talent in this draft. I really hope that Ron does try to get that pick back he didn't have when he came in here, and like use the future. Because you can use up to 3 years of your future draft picks. I say he taps into a little bit of that, get these players. He's on the hot seat now, bring some young talent in, but kind of have the same philosophy that he did last year with guys that can definitely help him now. I think if we stayed put, which I really can't see him doing, I think the one player I could see us taking without trading back would be Brian Branch from Alabama.
Alabama, yep.
I think the nickel is way more important in this scheme than outside cornerback is. Like, our outside cornerbacks get protected pretty well from our safeties.
Good
so putting somebody like Brian Branch in there would be great. Antonio Johnson, if like we did trade back, we'd have another shot at getting somebody like that. We could maybe trade back, bring the hometown tackle in and Anton Harrison, and then work a way to get an earlier second round pick to be able to get Johnson. That'd be the perfect draft for me. But we got like the hometown kid and Anton Harrison, man. He's like the spitting image of Trent Williams in the suit, in the uniform. He wears the same number in Oklahoma. He's from DC. Like, it's like he's the perfect first round. He's the perfect first round pick for us, and I think we could get him if we trade back. But like I said, if we stay put, it'd probably be Brian Branch.
Basically a better Bobby McCain.
Huh?
I said basically a better version of Bobby McCain, safety, slot corner, arguably the best slot corner in the draft.
Yeah, like, I really don't think Antonio Johnson's that far off, and he's, a bit taller, more athletic, but it's just, like, Brian Branch is like a whole nother level, and he's a Bama guy. Like, we cannot go wrong with drafting a first-round defensive Bama guy. So it's like, that's the only way I could see us staying put. But then I'm wondering, like, hey, that's secondary. Maybe Ron won't even take that. But I'd be happy with Harrison after a trade back with him. The only linebackers I'd really worry about in this draft, honestly, like, I like Henley, but Ron's gotta have people that can really help out this year. So I think it only comes down to Jack Campbell, like, earlier on, and Dorian Williams somewhere in the middle. Like, those are the only two guys I think could really help out now. But then offensive line for a lot of the other stuff, like Tilman and Avila. Ricky Stromberg's getting no love. He's projected like late, but if you could get Ricky Stromberg in the fourth, that'd be crazy. I think he's like Chase Roullier, but bigger, stronger, faster. Like, he's like the same kind of player, but he's just more athletic. Everybody wants a tight end. I think but they strictly want us to get a receiving tight end. And, a bigger receiver might be something good for us. So Bryce Ford Wheaton from West Virginia, he tested out of this world. Like, this dude's 6'4", 225 pounds. and ran a 4.340. Like, his athletic profile, he is literally Kittle. He's George Kittle and him have like the same measurables, but he's way faster. I think I might have talked to you about that.
Yeah,
but,
I saw it on Twitter. I think you did you did like the side by side with them. Yeah, I saw that.
Like that's crazy. We could get him, and then something I have completely slept on until right now. It kind of like got my head because of like this whole the rumor of Diami getting traded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't need to get rid of anything that makes Sam Howell comfortable.
I agree.
If anything, we should bring more stuff that makes him comfortable in. And Josh Downs is out of the question because he's going to go like early second, if not first. But Antoine Green caught a lot of deep touchdowns from Sam Howell, and he's projected late day 3. He's 6'2". He's 205 pounds, and he was just a tick faster than Josh Downs in the 40. So he's like way under the radar. And I actually just I was watching some Sam Howell stuff, and I was like, Green. I was like, who's this guy that's catching all these deep touchdowns? I don't even remember this guy. And I was like, oh man, he's in this draft class because like he's way down the rankings. Antoine Green is in like the 300s. But like, if you watch him, I mean, this dude gets open deep. He's 6'2". You know, he's a pretty good size, and we could get him probably with a 7th round pick.
Listen, drafted free
and
agent.
like, why not?
Sound like
maybe. I mean, 6'2" and like 4'4". It's going to be hard, I think, for him to get completely out of the draft.
Yeah.
But even if we got to throw, a 7th round dart at bringing in a little more comfort for Sam Howell, I think it'd be worth it. And you know me, man, I believe fully in Sam Howell. Like, I think he's going to tear it up this year. I think we found our guy. Like, I was big on Sam before the draft. Like, that was my guy. As soon as we drafted Diami, I was like, yes, that means we're going to target him, next year. And I was like, oh, we're going to have to tank to get this guy. He was being projected number 1 overall until everybody forgets that. But until this one down season, this guy was like, oh, he's going to go number 1 overall. I was like, man, we're going to have to tank for this guy. We're going to have to trade up for him. And as the season went on and everybody started down in the quarterback class, I was like, man, we might be able to get him at 16. And it was like, draft came, he just kept falling. And like Mike Renner and PFF had him like in the 20s, like a week before the draft. And then he just was nowhere. Everybody's acting like he wasn't supposed to be a 1st round pick now. Everybody's pretending that we just got a bum. Like, if he was drafted if Sam Howell was drafted a year earlier, he would be a New York Jet. He would have gone number 2 overall. Like, Wilson, It was the conversation about the quarterbacks that year were Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and if Sam Howell could come out, it was Lawrence, Fields, if Howell could come out. And since Howell can't come out, hey, there's this guy at BYU that's pretty good. That's kind of like Johnny Manziel.
Yeah.
That's how it was. Everybody forgets this stuff, act like he's nobody, but they'll see this year,
Yeah, I'm excited too.
I am thrilled. I think Eric Bieniemy is going to get everything running good. I think he's going to make it really easy for Sam Howell to, go right into that like 1st year, 2nd year at UNC. Like, somebody posted a over/under thing for Sam Howell, and I have to fight so hard not to be like 38-7, like his freshman year in UNC. They're like, over/under. Is he going to do better than Jacoby Brissett or, worse? Over/under. And I was fighting so hard to just like, I ended up saying like way over, and it's going to be easy because of the team. But I had to fight back, and I was like, he's going 38-7, 38 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. and it sucks he didn't get to do it last year because he'd have been Rookie of the Year for sure with that. But yeah, I really believe that we got our guy. I'm always super optimistic until like week 5. But
Hey, being a Redskins fan to do it to you. You know?
Yeah, like going into the season, I'm like 13 wins, baby. It's 13 wins. We got this. Week 5, I'm like, all right, time to start mock drafting here for next year. But everybody knows how that is. But all right, man, take it easy.
Yes,
I'll
sir.
let you get off here.
My boy, Washington Command Center, y'all will see him in the chat. Make sure y'all go subscribe to my boy if you like his points, everything, draft, all of that, man. Make sure y'all stay tuned with him as well. Subscribe to my boy. Appreciate that, Command Center. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got Rich up next, and we have a couple of callers behind him. How you doing over there, Rich?
Yo, what's up, man?
What's happening?
Nothing, man. You know, streets is silent right now. Ain't nothing really going on. But yeah, I don't understand the non-believers of Sam Howell. I take that back. I understand where you come from, but like my man Lou said, he's not a regular 5th-round pick. Normal 5th-round picks aren't in the Heisman conversation. Like, the reason why he dropped so much was because the class was ass and nobody was committed to any of the players. Like, why would you draft a backup in the 3rd round or a projected backup in the 2nd or 3rd round? Majority sense. So, with that, obviously, that's what I wanted to say. I'm not a fan of Jacoby Brissett at all. That was my main thing. That's what I was trying to get to. But
okay.
let me just cut this.
That's interesting. All right, man.
I mean, he doesn't do anything. Like, he's just there, and he's not even good at being there. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm being serious too. Like, he comes into the game as a game manager, but has no upside to him. Like, I'd rather have a Cooper Rush. I'd rather have a what's his name, Minshew. I'd definitely rather have Heineke, but since Heineke got a better deal and moved on, that's whatever. But I'm just not rocking with Jacoby Brissett. Now, as a mentor, he seems like a great dude, a great locker room guy. He seems like he's all that. But if he has to come into the game, you're not gonna see me happy. I'm gonna be asking for whatever 7th round or undrafted rookie we get. That's what I'm gonna be saying.
I am curious who's gonna be our 3rd stringer, because I think Jake Fromm left. I think maybe he's still there, but I don't know who our 3rd stringer. Hopefully, we never get to that point.
You don't even want Jake Fromm, and you're a Georgia fan.
Like, yeah, I know. I hate Jake Fromm.
Yeah. Terrible.
I'll take Stetson Bennett a mile before him. Even ignoring championships, if we're just ignoring accomplishments, just only traits, I'll take Stetson Bennett over Jake Fromm any day. I mean, we saw Jake Fromm make Bobby McCain look like Sean Taylor again, like when we played the Giants. Like, so it's just like we should already know what he got going on. I'm surprised he's even here on the practice squad.
Yeah, man. It's. I ain't gonna say it's bad because it's still a veteran backup, so it's whatever at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, in the 1st round, I went the corner. If you trade, y'all know who the top 3 guys are. If the top 3 guys are there, that's just me though. Yo, they finally threw the flashbang? Yo, what's going on?
Yeah, Joseph joined the call. We got 2 more people joined in. But you know, when people join in, I have to hurry up and mute them because it doesn't automatically join them in muted. And he just came in the middle of traffic, I guess. I don't know what that was.
They actually threw the flashbang through your window. I thought you were being serious.
Finally.
But, yeah, the top 3 corners are there at 16. You take them. If they're not, look for one of the tackles, Broderick Jones or Paris Johnson. Because, hey, if y'all have the balls to get rid of my man Morgan Moses after coming off his best season, I'm good with Charles Leno being gone as a June 1st cut or whatever it is. Because Morgan Moses is definitely better than Charles Leno. And now y'all moving Samuel Cosmi into guard and all that when we could have just kept Morgan Moses. I'm just saying. But yeah, you could definitely draft a tackle and then say goodbye to Charles Leno. I have no problem with that. I love Darnell Wright just like you do. He killed the Senior Bowl, man. He was amazing. I love DeJuan Jones as well, even though he's more of a right tackle. So if he's only a right tackle, that would cause a lot of conflict because we already have Cosmi and Wiley, and you're trying to figure out where do you put them. So that'll cause some conflict there. I love Cody Mock. He's Mr. Versatile right there. You could throw him at guard. He worked a little bit at center just so you could, really say he was versatile. But he's really a tackle that can play guard. So I love Cody Mock. I love everything about him too.
Okay.
If we were to draft running back late in rounds, I feel like the perfect guy for this team. I don't know if you want to write this down or not. Keaton Mitchell. He goes to East Carolina. I think that's the school name. The Purple Pirate School in Carolina. You'll figure it out. But he's tough. He's tough and he fits exactly what we want to do. Me personally, I just stick it through and say, yo, JP, you up? This is your time. Because if you have Jared Patterson, there goes your kick returner, and there goes your scat back. There goes your new J.D. McKissick. And he's done his time. He performed when he's gotten his time in the games. So I think he just deserves the opportunity. Just like how Sam Howell probably deserves the opportunity. Same thing with Khalid Hudson. He deserves the opportunity. I feel like Jared Patterson, he deserves an opportunity. But if you still want to draft a running back late, Keaton Mitchell is the dude. That's the guy for this team, for sure.
All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I mean, I'm right with y'all with the Jared Patterson thing. My whole point has just been, like, it just seemed like they don't like him. So I've just always been like, yeah, we need a third down back because they just keep acting like they ignore him. But I think Jared Patterson could be a good returner and a good third down back. I mean, we saw against the Cowboys how that little combination with him coming in every now and then was just throwing the Cowboys off. Their defense just wasn't ready for him. And I think he could always have that level of success. So I'm right with y'all on Jared Patterson's potential. It just seemed like the Commanders just don't, for some reason, care. Jonathan Williams is always above him on the depth chart and things like that. And so we'll see how that goes, though. But, man, appreciate that, Rich, big time, man. Appreciate that.
Real quick.
Oh, yeah. Yes, sir.
I think we should get a receiver if y'all want somebody that can I don't know if he can return punts, but I'm pretty sure he can return kicks. Charlie Jones, one of the most productive receivers out of college last year, has the best hands of the draft, and for some reason people are saying he's day 3. If he's there in the 5th round, we got to take him. He just makes sense for us as a returner, great receiver, all that. But, all right, my time's up.
All right, man. Appreciate that, Rich. Thank you. Thank you for dropping some heaters. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. My boy Rich dropped some sleepers in the chat. Now we got my boy Rick D up next. How you doing over there, Rick?
Sorry, I had you on. It's been a long time since I called in.
Yeah, what's good, man? How you doing?
I'm doing well, and congratulations.
The conference has been locked.
They did well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's what we do.
Yeah. I wanted to mostly talk more about the owner, the new owner. We know it's going to happen. And with that being said, who do you really think is going to get it? Do you think Bezos is going to get it, or is it that new group of Magic Johnson?
I think safest would be the Josh Harris, Mitchell Rales, and Magic Johnson group. But I just would not be surprised if Bezos just comes in and be like, yeah, I'm done playing games. Let me go ahead and get it. Because it's reported that Dan Snyder doesn't really have as much against Bezos as has been previously reported. And Bezos can offer more money, and Dan Snyder will take more money. So, but I think Josh Harris is the safest. I think that group is the safest to bet on if I had to put money on it.
Well, as long as we keep Snyder overseas and away from RFK, because I think if the new owner does get in here, RFK is in play, and that would be the best for both everybody in the DMV.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty much easy. I remember going back rocking with the Redskins there. Easy again, hell of a time. Great, it was a good time there. Had a lot of good memories. But if it does happen and they do change the name, I need you to do that. Remember when we talked about having the Redskins name be the Resolve?
Oh yeah. I remember that.
You should rock that, man. And if it works, take the money. I don't care. I just want it. I was never a big fan of the Commanders, but health is Resolve for our fans dealing with this 25 years of stagnant crap ownership is just crazy. And your caller a few callers ago, this got very knowledgeable about the draft and stuff like that, but I don't even deal with I know you do a great job on your content and your research. It's much appreciated, and I watch everything you do.
Appreciate it.
But a lot of it's just fool's gold. I mean, they throw out there, we want to get this. It's fool's gold. I mean, about 2 weeks before you get a better, temperature of the water or what's going on, it doesn't make sense to me to do all these mock drafts and all this stuff before, right before the draft. I mean, it's just ridiculous. But as far as the one thing that we need to do, I believe, as soon as June comes around, we need to get Kamren Curl signed.
Please.
To me, he is the backbone of our D. He's the smartest one on the field. He should be wearing the green dot. I mean, it's just, he's incredible. I love that kid. Love him. I mean, I'm getting me the black 31. I like that.
Oh, that's hard. Yeah.
It is tough, man. But yeah, we definitely got to get him. But let's just say that I know we're gonna slide back in the draft. To get the best picks and stuff like that, we should slide back. But if we didn't, what would be your pick if we did not slide back?
It's definitely corner or tackle if we're stuck at 16. But I agree. I think ultimately we will end up trading back. Just off of just history with Ron Rivera, first of all, like always wanting to accumulate as many picks as possible, and we do well with picking guys later in the draft. I mean, Kamren Curl, like you was just talking about, was a 7th round pick, and it's just like those picks matter. So they feel like they could draft the guy just as well with the 5th round pick as they could with like a 2nd. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna end up trading back. But if we're stuck at 16, I would prefer I want a Christian Gonzalez. I'd be willing to take Darnell Wright 16. I believe in his talent that much, especially under Eric Bieniemy or those tackles. I think Darnell Wright. I mean, a lot of people are saying he may go in the 2nd. I'd be willing to take him at 16 because I love his talent that much. So it's quite a few guys if we get stuck that I'd be happy with.
Do you think he'll slide? Do you think he'll slide? Because I don't see him at 16.
Yeah, I hope he does. I think Daniel Jeremiah, one of them that had talks to like NFL GMs and coaches and stuff like that. He said that NFL teams are way higher on Darnell Wright than the media is. So the media is the one that keeps projecting them 2nd round and things like that. But he's saying that a lot of people feel like Darnell Wright will go way sooner than that.
Yeah. But if B-Rob, if he didn't get shot, we would have been in the playoffs last year. There's no doubt in my mind. If he didn't get shot, we would have been in the playoffs. Because them first 3 games, I mean, if they would have had, oh my goodness, I mean, the way they were moving people, the offensive line at that time before they got hurt, we would have been in the playoffs.
Yeah, that is crazy. The offensive line was healthy. We didn't have B-Rob. And then as soon as we got B-Rob back, the offensive line started getting hurt, and then they stopped blocking as well.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right. All right, well, I'm going to let you go. I know you got other colors. Thanks for talking to me.
Yes, sir. My boy Rick D, man. Appreciate the call as always, man.
Thank you, bud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We have a 240 number next. And then lastly, we have Joseph before I get up out of here because I want to at least do one video before tonight. But I'm going to try to see if I have the time to make 2 videos. But I definitely want to do 1 video today. So I'm about to go ahead and get up out of here soon. Let me go ahead and bring the 240 number on. And then Joseph, your last. 240, who's this?
Hi, I'm Jonathan.
You said Jonathan? Bet. Let me save you in. What's good, man?
Hey, I've been listening, and I saw that video yesterday on who's the best person suited to be the owner, and I'm with the other guy. I hope it's the Harris Group rather than Bezos, but since a lot of people been trying to bring other people in, I think Bezos should join the Harris Group. It would make it the more owners, the more people you have in a group, the better it is for decision making.
Okay.
Because then you can give each person a job to do, and it would be more efficient. As far as linebackers go, I'm glad Holcomb found Thor. I'm glad Pittsburgh still offered Cole Holcomb, because Holcomb was too slow to be middle. He was way too slow. You need somebody that runs a 4.5 or 4.6 to be your middle linebacker, because not only does he have decisions to make on the fly, but he has to hit those A and B gaps, and he has to do deep coverage. As far as our receiving core, I'm not glad they offered De'Ami Brown, but if it's going to either give us one picks or an opportunity to get somebody else through free agency, it's a better option for both parties. I like De'Ami Brown a lot, and I like him for Sam Howell or whoever the quarterback is going to be, because he has that deep threat, and his deep threat is crazier than most receivers except for Jahan Dotson. I just hope that they move Samuel Cosme to right guard.
They said that they are, I believe.
Yeah, they said they are, but a lot of time when they say they are, it doesn't happen.
Yeah, true.
A lot of, like last season, they said they was going to draft this person and that person, and I'm sitting around waiting and watching the draft, and they ain't drafting nobody they said they was going to draft. They went in a totally different direction. Not to say that was a bad direction, because the decision they made was going after all guys who were senior players in the last year of their college career.
Straight seniors.
And those were grown men that they drafted. Mm-hmm. And we need to be in the habit of drafting grown men. Because as you see, none of those guys failed in their attempts to be pros. I mean, look
we just
at
had one
season
injury. Other than that, everybody else stepped up pretty big.
Exactly. I still don't see why they aren't pursuing Lamar Jackson. It's like the elephant in the room that nobody really wants to talk about. I think they should pursue Lamar Jackson. I mean, it's just out there, He's one of the best players. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league. The Ravens have done him wrong. The owners are doing him wrong. I will say it. I don't care. I really don't care how they feel about it because I've been black all my life. I'm gonna die black. I was born black, and I just feel, you know, if you look at the history of the black quarterback and all that went through, it wasn't until Doug Williams won the Super Bowl that we really realized we could do it. But we already knew we could do it because black quarterbacks have been doing it all along. And it's not insurmountable. I mean, Doug Williams was such a great quarterback. And you think of 18 to 35, just the impression of that. 18 plays to get to 35 points. That was awesome to me.
Yeah.
And, you know, Terry Bradshaw always talks about the quarterback that taught him the offense. He didn't know the offense, and he couldn't think that high. And it wasn't until somebody really broke it down to him.
Mm-hmm.
And we have such a great opportunity. I mean, Sam Howell's a great quarterback. I'm not trying to slight him. I don't want to put Sam Howell down because what I saw in that Dallas game was outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
For a rookie to come in and disseminate the Cowboys, especially with my father being a Cowboy fan. Kudos to me.
Yes, sir.
But anyway, I just hope they continue to build on the offensive line with younger players. And the problem is a lot of our offensive linemen have gotten old quick. And the offensive line has about a three years unless they stay in shape. I mean, I coached offensive line for almost 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, you know, you don't have a lot of time. I mean, from Little League to high school to college to pros. I mean, just think about how long those guys have been putting their hands in the dirt and trying to do the best for their team, man. It's way too long.
Yeah.
That's all I have for right now.
All right. Appreciate that, Jonathan. Yes, sir. Oh, you about to say?
I'll talk to you next week.
All right, man. Appreciate that, Jonathan. Catch you next time. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And then we got my boy Joseph. I saw a command center said he wanted to join back. So I'm going to go to Joseph, and then we'll end it with command center so he can talk about Lamar. Let me bring my boy Joseph on first. So how you doing over there, Joseph?
What's going on, my boy?
What's good?
How you doing? It's been a minute. Happy New Year.
Appreciate Hey, man, appreciate that. Good, man. Just I'm catching up on the whole One Piece, man. I finished the series, and now I'm deep into the manga. I'm on my way up. I'm almost out of almost out of spoiler territory.
All right, that. All right. So, I heard everybody's point. Everybody made some good points. And have you noticed that the Washington Commanders did not pick up a safety in free agency.
Yeah,
So
we haven't.
I have a feeling that in the first or second round you might get Brian Branch
Okay.
because he is a pretty good free safety, and I think that he would pair very well with Cam Curl because he's very fluid in his hits and he's intelligent. So I think that would be a good pickup for us if we get Brian Branch
Okay.
in the first or second round. But if he goes before then to be honest, this safety class is not that great.
Yeah, it's not. I love Chris Smith, Georgia wise, but he's really smart, but he's just not athletic, and I worry about that.
Yeah. Because I was just looking to next year, maybe even if I'll look into next year, but the Darnell Washington, he's a beast. I like him. I was thinking of a tight end that had like a 10 RAS this year. He had a 10 score RAS this year. But I forgot his name. But he's very athletic. And I think he went to no, I don't even remember his school. I forgot his name too. That's all right. So I'm gonna just skip him. What's his name? Jalen Carter, bro. So because I know this man slipped all the way there because he was supposed to be first overall pick, right? So if this man falls all the way down to the third or fourth round, would you get him?
Oh yeah, I don't care what's going on. I'm taking Jalen Carter. I don't care. I just highly doubt it. I think I've been hearing that even with everything going on, he's not gonna slide too far. He'll probably still go top 5, top 7. But if for any crazy, I mean, remember we weren't supposed to get Jonathan Allen when we got him. We weren't supposed to get Montez Sweat when we got him either. But I think it's almost impossible. But I would love it. Yeah, if he's there for some ridiculous reason, I'm taking him. I don't care how many defensive linemen we got. You better find somewhere else for somebody to go.
Right. That's what I was thinking because I have a feeling that this man, because of behavioral reasons, might slip down to like the second round or third round.
Oh nah.
And for some strange reason, because I know that the Cowboys gave Randy Gregory a chance when he was drafted, and he was like really had some charges and stuff. So I have a feeling that he's either going to the Cowboys in like the late second, or maybe like us and like we would give him a chance because of his talent basically.
Yeah, but
I know that we could handle and discipline Jalen Carter because of our D line. Come on now, Jonathan Allen himself could discipline Jalen Carter, so we would have nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
So all we have to do is tap into his potential, which is great.
Yeah, I mean he I feel the same way about Jalen Carter coming out as I felt about Jonathan Allen. I may even be slightly higher than Jalen Carter, but yeah, I don't even like the thing he's in trouble for. I don't think it's that serious to where he would fall out of the top 10, honestly. But if for some reason he was there, I would for sure take him. No questions asked. I don't care what's going on.
And all right. Other than I know you like Christian Gonzalez, but I know that he's not going to be like in the 16th pick. So if Gonzalez gets picked up, what other corner would you be interested in?
I like a lot of them. Just like Washington Commandson and said, this draft is just super deep at corner to where like you're just really cool with like That's the only thing with taking a corner in the first round, because there's so many good corners. It's like if the difference isn't that big and you can get one of them in the third versus one of them in the first, and it's almost the same guy, it is kind of hard to take one of those guys. And Christian Gonzalez may be the only guys I would take at 16. Everybody else I would trade back and see if we can get him, type of thing. Mostly just because I love Christian Gonzalez's hips. I think his hips and length combination is just rare. And I feel like you could put him anywhere, outside corner, wherever you need him to play. Somebody with hips like that, you just can't teach that. So that's the reason I'm so high on Christian Gonzalez. But there's a lot of guys. Joey Porter, I think, could fit our defense depending on how you want to use him. Devon Witherspoon, of course, Emmanuel Forbes. There's a lot. And then again, they love Julius Brents and thinks he could probably end up being like a better Benjamin St-Juste. And if we can get him outside of the first round, even better, type of thing. And I think he's come in for a visit, I believe, but I know for a fact they formally interviewed him at the Combine. They've talked to him at like different places. So there's clear interest there, and I wouldn't be surprised if we find a way to get him. And we skip on corner in the first round because they know they're going to get him in the second or later.
Yeah, that's a good take. And the wide receiver position, our wide receiver position is underrated right now. I never thought I would say this, but our wide receiver group is underrated right now. Like it's amazing. It's amazing how deep our group is. Like the amount of talent that we have, and if we could get, because I know because of the school that Josh Downs went in, he's not going to be in the first round. I know he's probably going to be like around the same draft pick as what's his name? He went to did he go to the Jets or he was in the same receiver group as De'Ami Brown. He was the same receiver as De'Ami Brown. I forgot his name, but anyway, he'll be in the same draft pick as De'Ami Brown and the other receiver. So I think he'll be like a late day 2 pick. And if we could get him as a compensatory pick, hey, that'll be dope. Because I know you probably don't remember this player, but remember Antonio Callaway?
Oh yeah, I loved him coming out of Florida and ended up for the Cleveland Browns. Supposed to be really good, but was just a super troublemaker. Couldn't keep straight.
Exactly.
Yeah, I loved Antonio Callaway.
So I think Josh Downs could be like an Antonio Callaway, like unstoppable red zone target.
Okay.
If we could get him to pair with De'Ami Brown, Terry McLaurin, Curtis Samuel, and Jahan Dotson, we could just call them the Fab Five.
Okay,
like,
Josh
that would be
too. Okay, wait a minute. Starting to like it even more. I didn't know he was from Georgia. I know he went to UNC. Didn't know he was from Georgia though. Oh, okay, he from Gwinnett. Noted.
That would be dope. That's all I gotta say. That'd be dope.
All right.
And last thing. Many people have not noticed, but Pat Mahomes started his first game in week 17. And that was like the last game of the season, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Did y'all see his stats? His stat line was pretty average. There was 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, and he took 2 or 3 sacks. And I compared his stat line in his first game to Sam Howell's stat line in his first game. Even though Pat Mahomes threw more, I still feel like Sam Howell had a better stat line than him, because Sam Howell threw a touchdown, he ran for a touchdown, and even though he threw a pick, so did Pat Mahomes. So that kind of canceled each other out. And the sacks that Pat Mahomes took, Pat Mahomes lost more yards than a Sam Howell, if you really look at the stat line. So I guess if you want to make a video on that, I just gave you a video idea. But, yeah.
Bet. Appreciate that.
That's all I got.
Yes, sir. My boy Joseph, man. Appreciate the call as always, man.
Appreciate you too.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You too, man.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I'm going to bring my boy Washington Command Center on because he wanted to say some things about Lamar Jackson. Let me go ahead and bring you on. What's good, Command Center?
Hey, man, I know people go ahead and get your vegetables ready, your tomatoes. You want to throw them at me. But, all right, before I get this off, somebody else said something about RES a while ago. Just want to throw out there, Jack Campbell has the same RES score as Luke Kuechly.
Okay.
Just want to say that before this.
Okay, interesting.
But we say it till we're blue in the face. This is a passing league. We talk bad about Ron for wanting to run the football. We talk about how much this is a passing league. But Lamar is the best thing ever because he can run. And the man has only broke 3,000 yards passing one time in his MVP season. And in his MVP season, he had like 4,000 yards. It was still 105 less total yards than Jared Goff threw for this year. Okay? And since then, he's had 2,700 yards passing, 28 and 22. It's a passing league. If your quarterback can't pass for more than 3,000 yards a season, I'm sorry, he's not worth $120 million guaranteed or $200 million guaranteed. It's just ridiculous. Like, it's a passing league. It's great that the quarterback can run, but it doesn't matter if he can't, pass. And we can't put this all on his weapons. I said he has the same career arc as Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz got injured before he could get that MVP season. And his career went downhill from there. But he managed that 4,000-yard passing season before the contract so he could get paid. Lamar spent the last 2 years before his contract injured. And it's not about weapons. The weapons, it's crazy. Carson Wentz didn't have a 1,000-yard pass catcher that 4,000-yard season. He was throwing to a completely washed-up Alshon Jeffrey. He was throwing to the likes of Nelson Aguilar or Jalen Reagor, just a bunch of total bums. Okay, his best weapon was Zach Ertz. Mark Andrews, about the same. Who's the guy that Baltimore drafted in the first round last year or the year before last? The receiver.
I see his face.
Oh, we all
Sean
loved
Bateman.
him, man. But that guy, Bateman.
There we
Bateman's no worse than Aguilar or Reagor. So Lamar's had the same caliber of weapons. He's been in the same kind of decline since his second-year MVP, just like Carson Wentz had that second-year almost MVP. Like, they're on the same career arc. He just got lucky. Carson got lucky that he got paid before, it was shown that he got washed. And then people are still holding out this hope for Lamar. It's just not there passing-wise. I don't see it. I mean, if he was cheaper, I would love. I'm not choosing Wentz over Jackson. I'm saying neither. Like, I was all for giving Wentz a try for $28 million a year because that's cheap for a quarterback. $200 million guaranteed that is going to bleed all the talent off this roster is one of the worst things we could possibly do. If the new owner does that, it's like what's the meme? Hi, new boss, same as the old boss or whatever. Like, it's the same thing. If the new guy comes in and he's like, hey, aren't you guys glad to have Dan Snyder gone? Let's get right to doing some Dan Snyder shit right now. Let me get the biggest name in here to lead all the talent off this team by screwing up the salary cap as fast as we can. You know, it's the dumbest thing we could do. And for, like, us Washington fans that hate Snyder for doing all this dumb stuff every year. Last year it was Russ. Like, I was making videos like, no, we don't want Russ. He will bleed all the talent off this team. Everybody wanted him. This year, now it's Lamar. It's like shaking keys at a kid. Washington fans are like shaking keys at a toddler. Like, they're just like, oh, give it. Like, it's the worst thing we could possibly do. Like, we have the most advantageous thing you can have in the league right now. We have a rookie contract quarterback, and not even a first-round rookie. We got a cheap fifth-round rookie. The rest of our division, the two most successful teams in our division, same thing. You know, day 2, day 3 quarterbacks on rookie deals. Like, that's how they've been so successful, while, you know, it just kind of shot upwards for Philly, but they don't have as much time as Dallas had because, you know, they got to pay Jalen now. Carson was kind of in the way and cost him a year. You know, that's why we got to get Sam out there now so we could take advantage of this window. And yeah, man, I think Lamar, that's a horrible idea. And he is, man. I think it's slightly overrated that everybody puts all this stock into his rushing ability. First off, you know, he missed a bunch of games, so he hasn't even been the top rushing quarterback the last 2 years. So if your guy's not cracking 3,000 yards passing and he's not leading in rushing, then, I mean, he's mid-tier. Like, Taylor Heineke was like 19th or something like that in passing, like, last year when he had a bunch of games. That was ahead of Lamar. Like, Taylor Heineke was a higher-ranked passer than Lamar last year. He was 19. Lamar was, like, 24. Like, come on. Like, I don't see it. And I don't see how people, like, yes, the cap is kind of a myth, but you eventually have to pay for it. There is a reason that Seattle sent Russ away. I mean, the fact that, you know, he had declined greatly didn't help. But after they got lucky, after that first Super Bowl, Russ had taken, like, a decent deal. He didn't reset the market with his price. So they had another couple years before they gave Russ that really big contract that bled all the money off all the talent off their team. Mm-hmm. And that's why Seattle was just like, yeah, Russ has probably got a couple years left in him, maybe, but, like, we can't afford to put anything else around him. So, yeah, I think it's a horrible idea. Like, in the case, if something else people don't look at is they'll cite, like, they'll talk about the Rams. You know, the Rams, first of all, were just in a Super Bowl 2 years before they got Matt Stafford. They already had a Super Bowl caliber team. And when they traded for Matt Stafford, they actually gained cap space because the contract they gave Jared Goff was more expensive. That's why they traded the 2 first-round picks. It wasn't because he was that much better of a quarterback. It was because they gained the cap space to be able to, you know, get these extra pieces to put them over the top. Ramsey. Tom Brady came to Tampa Bay. He had to bring a lot with him, you know, like he only made what, $25 million was like his cap hit or something. Like, we're not going to add a $200 million quarterback to this team and make it past the divisional round. I mean, we might make it to the divisional round this year, but we're not going to win a Super Bowl. And then next year, we're going to start losing pieces faster than we put them on. That's all it is. So even as well as Ron drafts, I think Ron drafts awesome. Like, people diss him, but if you just look, like the first draft, we had 2 or 3 hits. Second draft, we had 5 hits. This last draft, I mean, everybody has looked great except Phil got hurt, and we didn't get to see much of Percy. Everybody else looked really good. He's getting better and better. That's another thing we can compare to with Ron. Everybody talking about Ron on the hot seat. Pete Carroll in 2010, when he got to Seattle, they were only 3 years removed from like a 5-year stretch of playoff runs and a trip to the Super Bowl that they lost. They weren't that far away from being a winning team. They only had like 2 down seasons. They got Pete Carroll. He went 9-7 for 2 seasons, like Ron, the first 2 years, and then everything went up. Well, Ron had Dan Snyder, cancer, all these scandals to deal with. So I think that is worth, Ron being set back a little extra year. I think that earns Ron that extra year over Pete Carroll. Like, Pete Carroll got it all together after 2 years. We could give Ron the grace of the 3rd year. I think that we're with Sam Howell especially. I comped him to Russ. I think that we're very much in the Legion of Boom 2012 Seattle Seahawks right now. That's where we're at, and that's why I'm so scared about the new owner coming in. I mean, everybody hates Dan Snyder, but I don't want to see a new guy come in here and mess this up, because I really think Ron's got us moving to something really good, and we just need a little more time. We got Eric Bieniemy now. He's the Darrell Bevels coming in. Like, Bevels actually came in a year before Russell, but he was there to start Russ. That's the way the enemy's going to be with Sam. I think we could, maybe not this year, but we're going to get into the playoffs pretty good this year. And I think we're right there on the cusp, man. And Lamar is definitely not the answer. Sorry, I had to rant there a little bit, but last year I made videos about it. It was the same way. Like, I felt like it was the same thing with Russ. And it's just like year after year. I'm wondering who it's going to be next year.
But yeah, hey man, that's why I brought you back on, man. I appreciate it.
It'll probably be Lamar, because he's gonna play on that franchise tag, and we'll be doing the same thing next year.
Oh yeah.
But I think Sam, we're not gonna have a chance to, because Sam's gonna ball out.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna have to worry about the fans asking for somebody else. Well, maybe some of them.
Well,
yeah.
I mean, whether we want Lamar, whether we should or not, is another debate. But I think we definitely won't, because, I think Jacoby Brissett also just solidified, we got the veteran backup. We have the young guy we want to go with. We're out of the sweepstakes. Like, I'm pretty sure we're not even looking into it just because of that alone. But yeah, man. Oh, what you about to say?
I would still love it, even with Jacoby, if we signed Chase Daniel, man. Like, to be that mentor role, help him out. Because nobody has, rubbed shoulders with as experienced quarterbacks and coordinators and everything as Chase Daniel has. I would love it if he was, even if he can't play. I mean, Jacoby can definitely step on and play if we need him to. But bring Chase. Chase even was in Kansas City when Bieniemy was a running back coach. So they got to know each other. Bring him in as quarterback 3. Just let him mentor. He could probably, pass on some knowledge to Jacoby too. It'd be beneficial for everybody.
Yeah.
He was out there with Herbert last year.
I'd say he'd definitely be a better third string quarterback than Jake Fromm. And then man, yes sir. Appreciate it, Command Center.
All right, take care.
All right, man, appreciate that. Yes sir. Great show. Had fun. Let me go ahead and let me close that before that music starts playing. I don't know why when there's no callers I can't turn that crazy guitar beat they got for the the thing I use to take in calls for. But man, I appreciate everybody pulling up again. As always, man, please leave a like on the way out. Let me try to read some comments before we go. Chase Daniel, Jacoby played under Tom Brady. So say we need a solid vet. None avail. Honestly, who should be our starting QB best case? Best case scenario, Sam Howell. Ceiling wise, Sam Howell, especially on a rookie deal, is best case scenario. I mean, Eagles went to the Super Bowl because Jalen Hurts isn't eating up all of their cap space. Dak Prescott, ever since they paid him, they just can't make it. They can't win more than one game in the playoffs. And the Giants were building something, but now that they just paid Daniel Jones, I think they're going to be good. They're never going to be bad. All of these teams with these good quarterbacks on big deals are never going to be bad, but because you can't pay all of the talent around them top dollar, they lost CJ Gardner-Johnson because they already know they're going to have to pay Jalen Hurts soon. They lost Javon Hargrave to the 49ers. Like, they're losing all of these guys because they know when you got to pay that quarterback, you can't pay everybody else. So all of these teams are going to have a certain ceiling to them. I mean, unless you go out there in a Pat Mahomes level great, when you're making that kind of money and you're paying that kind of money to your quarterbacks, it's hard to go all the way because the rest of your team struggles because of it. You're not paying for top guys at defensive line, offensive line, cornerback. I mean, even the Chiefs just lost Orlando Brown. It's just hard to pay everybody and to be able to upgrade at every position. You better be able to draft your tail off. Can we get an update on prospects we met with list? I'm working on that. I may come out with a video for that tomorrow because a lot has happened. We've gone to pro days. I have that confirmed. We've brought in guys for visits, all of that type of stuff. So make sure y'all stay tuned for that. What's good, Big Simple? Great show as always. Appreciate that, Graceland. Appreciate that big time. And yeah, man, I'm Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Chris Sims loves him. Has him higher than Will Levis slightly. And the Commanders are also interested in him. He was one of the first confirmed guys that we talked with, period, throughout this whole cycle. He was one of like the first 20 or 30. Now the list is up to like 90. So they really like Dorian Thompson. Appreciate that 100 Legion. Appreciate that. Chase Daniel played with Breeze, Stafford, Smith, Herbert, plus coaches like Peyton, Reed, Reich, and Peterson. Oh, that's really interesting. Yeah, man. Bring him in. I mean, again, even ignoring all of that, he's better than Jake Fromm. So why not? But yeah, with that added to it, that's crazy. That's a really cool note right there. But yeah, man, my boy Big Simple, shouts out Rich, shouts out to everybody that called in. Thank y'all, man. Shouts out to Mark Paul, shouts out to everybody. I will catch y'all in 2 weeks with the live stream on Sunday, I believe. Maybe. I'm gonna keep y'all posted. I may have to do like a live stream randomly during the week instead of a Sunday because I may end up being very busy, but I do want to make sure I don't go an entire weeks without live streaming. So an entire 2 weeks without live streaming. So make sure y'all stay tuned. Appreciate that 100 Legion media. Appreciate that. And I'm gonna catch y'all when I catch y'all. I'm trying to work on getting a video out before the today ends. I want to make sure I do a live stream and a video because I'm trying to at least do 2 things a day. So if it's 2 videos a day or a live stream and a video, so make sure y'all stay tuned. And yeah, man, I appreciate y'all again. Leave a like on the way out. Really appreciate all of the callers. Shouts out to everybody that donated. Shouts out to all of the donations. Big time, man. Really appreciate it because I'm working on upping the quality of the streams and the equipment and everything. So really appreciate those donations and stay tuned for more content. Appreciate y'all.